Hey, this is Mike Addis. Thanks for joining me. Always a pleasure bringing these videos. So we're going to talk about no money down transactions, or I have money in this particular case. In past videos, I had no money. So I had zero money, but when you have money, people that have money, they don't use their own money anyway. So let's talk about the Eastern Airlines deal, and we're going to talk about Presta. Presta was a great deal. That was a rental company. So they're gone, and so is Eastern Airlines. So Eastern Airlines is going bankrupt. I read about it in the Wall Street Journal. I call up Eastern Airlines and I say, hey, what do you got in technology? I called like 10 different people until I finally got the right guy. He says, yeah, I have like 3,000 Texas Instrument 810 printers. It had the big ball head, so when it impacted the paper, it could go through 5 or 6 copies. In the old days, they'd give you, now you just go in and scan, you get the thing. But the old days, one for the baggage claim. The ticket was for you. One was for the boarding, the airplane was going to take it. Anyway, I said, I'll tell you what, I'll give you $3 for them. He goes, I'll take it. I could have offered him $1. I could have offered him 50 cents. Anyway, number one rule, you can never go too low on the offer. That's important. Write that down at the bottom. So when you think you went low, go lower. That's number one rule. You've got to remember that. So I say, okay. I says, let me send you a purchase order. I call up my guys that do refurbishing. They want the print heads because the new print head sells for $100 and the used ones are selling for $30, $40. So I say, I tell you what, I just bought 3,810 Texas printers. I'll sell them to you for $10. That's $7 profit on 3 units, 3,000 units. That's 21 grand profit in 5 minutes. He says, I'll take them. So he's going to send me 30 grand, $10, he's paying them, right? I says, wire me the money right now. He wires me the money. I call Eastern Airlines, I say, I'm sending you a purchase order, I'll wire you the money tomorrow. That's it. That's a $7 profit in like 10 minutes. Of course, it took a day to paperwork, had to go back and forth, and the wire transfers were a little slower then, so I had to get the money the next day. But the point is, I bought the units for 3, I sold them for 10. That's a $7 profit on 3,000 units. That's 21 grand in just minutes by making a phone call, by reading an article and making a phone call. So going back to the number one rule, you can never offer too low. If I offered $1, I would have made another $2. He might have taken it, I'm not sure. The other thing is I never touched the product. I just direct shipped to the customer. Why? Because I didn't care where the customer knew where the product came from. They were going bankrupt anyway. Okay, so that's number one deal. Number two deal, and we're going to go through some other reasons as to how we do these deals. Number two deal, I'm doing a business with a company called Presta. They're gone too. They closed their business down. Presta's renting laptops, computers to consumers. They're going out of business, but I'm already doing business with them. I'm going up to Fort Worth, Texas, driving from Austin, Texas, picking up the product instead of them shipping to me because they're kind of like really lazy. They don't want to do any work. They're just making this money. They're leasing out computers. 25 to 30% of the people never pay them, so they eventually go out of business. Anyway, they're sitting with 100 Apple iPad minis. 200, excuse me. There were like 200 of them. The deal was like 150,000 or something like that. I don't even remember the exact number, but it was a 6-figure number. I was going to purchase them. I purchased them for like 25, 30% below their value, whatever the value was. Let's say they're invoiced at $200, so I'm buying them for like 30% below 200 is like $60. I'm buying them for like $140. I go to a customer of mine that's up in Michigan and I say, hey, I've got like $150,000 worth of Apple. He says, what can I buy them for? I says, they're brand new, sealed in the box. You can't get them because unless you're an Apple distributor or retailer, you have to buy direct from Apple. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll sell them to you at invoice because you can't get them anyway. He goes, I'll take them. But just like that, bing. I says, what do you do? Same as the Eastern Airlines deal. Wire me the money. I don't touch the product. This is called a drop ship, and that's the end of the company. The stuff is sitting in Kentucky. I am sitting at the time in Austin, Texas. He is sitting in Michigan. So I'm going to ship them from Kentucky to Michigan because they're a lot closer. I don't want to ship them to Austin, Texas. That doesn't make any sense. The wire money comes into me. I give a purchase order to the seller Presta. I set wire transfer the money, and I make a $25,000, $30,000 profit somewhere around there just for another 10, 15 minutes worth of work. It took 2 or 3 days. Had to get a hold of the guy in the Kentucky for the freight, for the pickup, and do the invoices and the purchase orders and everything. So I couldn't get it any lower. It wasn't like the Texas Instrument deal, because these were brand new products. I was lucky enough to get them for 25% below their purchase price. They just wanted to get rid of them. Okay, so let's recap what we've already gone over. This is really important. So number one, you can never offer too low. And number two, you gotta find people that don't want stuff. I've said this many times in the previous videos. This is two reasons. Number three, you have to have a commitment. Number four, you gotta use your brain. Generation of money is when you go to work and they pay you $10, $15, $20 an hour, or $500 an hour. Money is created in your creative mind, and then you put together the transactions. This is Mike Addis. Thanks for joining me on this video. This is like video number 5. Could be 6. Anyway, video guys will figure it all out. Thanks for joining me. We're going to keep these videos short because, you know, I could make it into an hour video. Why? Tell you the story and rah-rah and all this stuff. It's just a waste of time. I don't want to waste my time. I sure as hell don't want to waste your time. Don't forget to comment. More important than subscribe. We'll see you on the next video.